Let's turn to business news now with Nona Peltier beside me in the Auckland studio. Is that my microphone making that noise? Apologies, everyone.
I can't hear any noise.
Yeah, that's because you haven't got an earpiece. Nona, market reaction to the government's planned changes to the Reserve Bank's writing instructions has been muted. What is being proposed?
Well, the Reserve Bank has a mandate, as you know, to look at price stability, financial stability by maintaining inflation in that target range between 1% and 3%. And so the Reserve Bank has been moving along that path for a while. But earlier this year, the Labour opposition in those days signaled that they wanted to see some changes. They wanted the Reserve Bank to have a broader view of things. And one of the things they wanted the Reserve Bank to look at was employment issues, mandating that would be something that they would look at if they became a government. Now they are the government. And so this has all been very well signaled. They want the Reserve Bank to consider employment when they look at monetary policy. Now, that's not really that different from what we see in the United States or indeed in Australia. So the market was fairly comfortable with that anyways. In other words, it's not really a great big deal. And as a result, almost nothing really happened today when they announced that they were going to
As
make
you
a
always
change.
say, Nona, when you're with us, the market hates surprises, right? Well, this wasn't a surprise. This was signalled explicitly on the record.
Exactly.
Right.
And so as a result of that, the reaction was muted. I mean, the dollar hardly moved. And even though it moved a little bit, that could be more because of what happened to the U.S. dollar, which was down a little bit. So, you know, in terms of how the market reacted, I would say subdued. Is the market concerned? No, not really. So if when the changes are announced, we're expecting some two-phase process with changes to be announced probably in the new year. And for now, it's business as usual.
Thanks, Nona. What happened with the insurers Tower and Vero? That's all. This is this takeover scheme. It's all come to an end, hasn't it?
It's really come to an absolute crashing end. So what happened with that was last year, or earlier this year, we've talked about Tower receiving, first of all, an offer from a Canadian firm, Fairfax Financial Holdings. They wanted to take over Tower. That lifted the share price. Then Suncorp said, oh, wait a minute, we would like to as well. Took a 20% stake in the business and then made an offer of $1.40 a share. The Commerce Commission said, no, we don't like that. Would lessen competition. We think, therefore, Vero, which is the subsidiary of Suncorp, and Tower thought they might appeal that decision. That has now been withdrawn as well. Vero has said we're not going to go ahead with it, even though Tower wanted to. They thought that they had a good case, but Vero thought it wasn't in their interest of their shareholders, and they withdrew after Tower announced today that they were going to go ahead with a capital raising scheme. Now, the details of which have not been announced. Right. We're expecting more on that next week.
What the markets do today, Nona?
Well, the markets didn't really like Tower's what happened with Tower. So their share price fell 2% to 79 cents. That's well off the $1.40 offer that Vero had on the table.
Not much more than half.
Yeah, the shareholders won't be happy there. Yeah. Dollars trading at 69.4 US cents, 90.3 Australian, 52.7 pence. So that's better than it was yesterday. And again, that's partly because the US dollar is weaker. The index, overall, the NZX 50 top 50 index fell just 4 points to 8,050.
Nona Peltier.
There you go.
Thank you very much indeed.